Welcome back, everybody, to Admiral Dreadnaughts. Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 3 of our Imperial German Navy playthrough, 1890 Legendary. So, last episode, we ended our war with Great Britain, or the British Empire at this time. It ended sooner than I wanted it to, but it probably also ended at a fairly good time for us. It allows us time to get our ships into full repairs and to build up a little bit more, since we now have a lot more territory than we did. And we just don't have enough ships right now to cover it. But we've effectively, I'd like to say we broke the back of the British Empire, but we did not. Their GDP is still disgustingly large, mostly because they hold India. So they're still working at over 100 billion in GDP. Scotland's at 7 billion. Southern England's another 9 billion. 2 billion, 2 billion, almost a billion, another 2 billion there. So we didn't break them, but we did a lot of damage to it. Took a lot of their Pacific Island holdings and stuff like that. Nothing out here, though. I probably should have made a grab at New Zealand. So what we're going to do next is, right now, I'm going to build 10 more Berlin Bashers. And we're going to seed these out at our ports out in the Pacific. Solomon Islands, New Guinea. We need these to really protect our transports. Do I want a Somaliland? Yeah, might as well. Eventually, all these ports are going to be receiving at least a light cruiser. Belfast, don't need it. Lagos, yes. And put one in Cape Town. So I'm going to need a lot more of these. We did pick up a lot of ports, and this will also help us with our what's what I'm looking for? This will help us with our logistics, because we just don't have enough ships to protect our logistics train. So our logistics are kind of down right now. We are sitting at 53%. And in the next war, I want to pick. I really want to go to war with the U.S., but they're like the only country that really, really likes us right now, so it's going to take a while to do that. So we're probably going to pick a fight with the Russians next. And the scale of this is to gain control of the Baltic ports here. We probably could land in central Russia also. I think we do have the tonnage for that. I have done that previously. I don't want to break the Russians too soon. You can break the Russians and the Spanish way too early in the game. It causes a lot of issues later on. But yeah, I do want to take control of the Baltic away from the Russians. We do share it, and I don't want to share it with them. So that's going to be our next target. So, but I'm not planning on starting this war until around 1900 or so, because I want to get my economy back up, and I want to get some newer technology onto my ships with the 1900 refit. So I'll come back in when something happens. All right, it's now January of 1900. And we managed to go the last 2 years without a war. Rebuilt our economy fairly well. We're now doing economic growth of 9% a year, which has allowed me to pump up the budgets on basically everything. I could probably reduce transport capacity a little bit, get more into crew training, but we're producing enough crew right now. We got a pool of 21,000, gaining 303 additional every month. So things are going good for us right there. And research-wise, we did unlock a bunch of new things. So we're in a good spot. So our next war is definitely going to be with the Tsarists. And after that, I have been slowly edging the United States closer to a war with us. And the only reason I want to go after the United States is I just want to take control of Panama before the canal was built in 1914. That's the only reason I'm looking for a war with them. I'm not even going to try. I could possibly try and land on the seaboard, but I don't think I have the tonnage anymore. It's already 1900. So these ports are pretty well built up. So tonnage-wise, may have some struggles there trying to get into the U.S. I may make the attempt, though. I may make the attempt. We can probably definitely get the Gulf Coast and then call for peace after that. We can definitely take Maine. That's an easy target. All right, so like I said, it's 1900, and we're going to go into our ship refits. All right, first things first, Imperial Ambitions is about to should get some upgrades here right off the bat. Yep, some better guns on her right there. A little bit of a weight loss. 6 inchers are still Mark 1. The 4 inchers are now Mark 2s. And her 9 inchers are now Mark 2s. So she just got a nice big upgunning. And the 2 inchers are Mark 2 now also. So, a bit of an upgun there. We got now I've induced boilers. Expansion 3 engines. All steering, not really necessary for this ship. We have gotten to Harvey armor. There's a big weight reduction right there. Anti-flood now. One. Let's give her a double hull. We got the weight. Soft cap on the HE shells. We can go capped on the AP. Battle sight propellant now. Still using gun cotton. Got 16-inch torpedoes. And I'm going to take her off a coincidence rangefinder and put her on a stereoscopic rangefinder for the longer range firing accuracy. All right, back over 11,000 tons. And I'm not going to increase her speed. These things don't need the speed increase. These are basically naval invasion ships at this point. What we're going to do is increase the armor because we can. Here's some better crew protection. Bring that up to 2 inches. And she still has weight issues on the 4 and on the pitch and roll. We've got that under control. Now let's bring up our aft belt and aft deck are already pretty big. That put us overweight. Let's bring that back down to 6. Let's get these aft belt up to 6 and the aft deck up to 6. All right, forward offset's down to 3%. Pitch and roll still a little high. We'll just add a little bit more. Deck. Not too much. All right, I think we're good right there. 11,996, 12,000 tons. She got a bunch of gun upgrades except for the 6-incher. Much better armor, better engines, better steering, better ammunition. So I think she's good to fight on for a few more years. All right, we're now looking at the Hammer of the Hanoverians. And same ship design as the last one, just a little bit upgunned on her mains. And we definitely got to bring her down some of her weight. Let's see what we can get off the bat here. All right, dropped a ton of weight right there. Her 10-inch guns are now Mark II. Her 4 inches are Mark II. Very good. We'll give you the stereoscopic rangefinder. Better propellant. Torpedoes. We did unlock better turret rotation. I should have given that the Imperial Ambitions. Next refit. Not going back and doing it again. These boilers. The engines. Harvey armor. 1. Soft cap on you. Cap there. Do I switch her over to heavy shells? Now, we don't need heavy shells just yet. Probably on the new design, I'll give her heavy shells. Possibly. We don't really need them just yet. Run that inner deck up to 1 inch at least. All right, let's get this 4-weight down. 6-inch aft. Belt and deck. There we go. 0.8% aft weight offset now. Okay. Main deck. Let's get you up to 5 if we can. There we go. Get you up to 6. A little too much, but got the pitch and roll down. There we go. 12,428, 12,442. 2-month refit time. It's actually going to take longer than that. Since we had 30 Imperial ambitions, they have taken up all of my dock space. So, she's a little more deadly now, so I'm happy with that. All right, we now doing a new battleship design. We do have Battleship 3 unlocked, which can go up to 17,000 tons, but we're going to cheat that a little bit. Bring up that beam all the way. And that'll get us up to 18,001 tons. Optimal speed of 18 knots, so that's what we will give her. Increase that range, increase the quarters. And I really didn't put much thought into the name of this one. You know what? My caps lock turn on. Yeah. Pull this one hand of the Kaiser. All right, so what are we going to do to you? Front tower 4. That's a big front tower. Tower 3. As we can. Funnels. Sitting right in those circles. It's only 85% engine efficiency, but I haven't put the better engine in her yet. Still can't use barbettes. So centerline guns. We now have Mark II 12-inch guns, so we're going to give her the 12 inches. We're going to stay on single barrel for now. I can't fit the 12 inches on her. Really? That sucks. So get the 11-incher on you. We cannot. Really? Get one in the rear. I guess we're sticking with the 10-inchers. As much as I want the bigger guns, they're just not going to fit. It is what it is. Secondaries. 7s are Mark 1. Do I have anything that's a Mark 2? The 5 inchers are now Mark 2. A bunch of these on there. I rotate you around to fit. No, I cannot. Put a 4-incher there. No. 3. We'll sit there and I can pepper these along the deck also. I hate to be on this one when this gun's firing. Casemates. Can we get 6-inch casemates? Yes, we can. This is going to be a beefy boy. 2-inch casemates on the towers if we can. No, can't put anything on the towers. Okay. Secondaries. Can I get 2-inch singles? I get some up here. At the rear of the ship. That's fine. Torpedo tubes. You get 1. Not really liking this gun right here. It's just a weird position for it. It just looks out of place, but I can't put another 5-incher there. So I'd rather have the 6-inch guns, but the 5s are Mark II, so that is, that is better. Use boilers. 3. Hydraulic. I'm going to leave her on a semi-balanced rudder. Harvey armor. 2. 1. Double hull bottom. Bulkheads. Anti-flood 1. Citadel 1. I thought I had Citadel 2 unlocked. I guess not. Soft capped. And capped. Repellent. Gun cotton. Let's give her the heavy shells. Turrets. Enhanced reload. 16-inch torpedoes. And you're going to get the stereoscopic rangefinder. All right. Four weight's still massively heavy. On all these German ships, the four weight is just massively heavy. I have an half-weight offset, but we'll take that down with the main deck additions. Puts us overweight, but got the pitch and roll a little under control. Stick away from the aft deck, actually. Let's bring that main deck down to 4 now. Still overweight. Okay. Oh, guns. What can I pen? Ten inches at 1,000 meter, and they got 10.5. But I think I could safely take it down to 5 inches for the long range fire. Do the same. Take the more bets down to 7. Yep, let's take them down to 6. That should get us underweight. No. 5 inches, it can definitely come down. Along with the 6 inches. There we go. Let's get this main deck back up there. Get that pitch under control, hopefully. A little better. Not much better. Yep. Forgot the inner deck. Got to keep the crew alive. Let's bring the main deck back down to 4 and just up the inner deck. Losing trained crew is hard to replace. All right, there we go. I'm not happy I couldn't put the 12 inches on here. I'm a little upset by that, but it is what it is. The 10 inches are still fine for now. All right, say hello to the Hand of the Kaiser. All right, now looking at the heavy cruiser Neuschwaben. It's time for her to get some upgrades because she definitely needs them. She never had enough armor on her to begin with. Basically, she's a very light heavy cruiser. And now the guns don't fit on her anymore. Right, you're losing your 10 inchers. And we're losing the 4 inchers. Okay. All right. So, can I get the 9 inchers on you? I can. 9 inches are fine. And we lost a 4, so we got to go down to 3s on these secondaries. I'm not too crazy about that. 2 inch singles on you. Yeah, I could pepper 2 inches on her now. Didn't do that when we designed her, but we have the weight now. It's 4,300. And these 9s can definitely come down. They can come all the way down to 6 inches. That's a lot of weight savings right there. 4-inch casemates, I'm not going to screw with those. Where are the 3 inchers? They got no armor on them. Anyway, okay. Let's get this first inner deck up to an inch. Get 0.6 for right now. Okay. New goodies, better boilers, better engine. Get rid of Harvey armor. I'm going to leave you on barbette 1 for now. Torpedo 1, give you the double hull bottom. Bulkheads, anti-flood 1. Soft cap on you and cap on you. Bow sight propellant. Turret, 16-inch torpedoes. And give you the stereoscopic. 4,236 at 4,500. So I got some room to play with. Pitch and roll is still disgustingly bad. I really want to get this main belt up to at least 4 inches. Yep, we got it up to 4. Okay, main deck. Let's put you up to 2 inches. Puts us overweight. Don't have much room to play with on it because it's such a small hull. Not much room to play with there. So guns have been reduced in size, but they are better guns. They're still good guns, so it's good for the time period. Not happy with the gun reduction, but it is what it is. All right, it's now time to design a new heavy cruiser. We have unlocked Armored Cruiser 2. I'm just not going to use it yet. We can build heavy cruisers up to 8,500 tons. With the increased beam, this ship comes up to 8,471, which is close enough for me. And it's a slightly cheaper hull, so we'll just have a little bit of weight saving there. It is really not much different. This hull is actually a little... Armored Cruiser 1 seems to be a little bit better. At least hull form-wise. There's not much of a difference between the two, so we'll stick with this one. I'm giving her a speed of 18 knots to match the battleships, as they will be their escorts. Quarters. Three, rear tower 4. Funnels, we can get 3 on her. Her bigs again. Probably reduce the size of those funnels. You can put a barbette on there. Give her the 9-inch guns. Cannot get the 9-inchers on her. Really? 8-inchers? Guess she's getting 8-inch guns, Mark 1, which kind of sucks. She's actually reduced firepower from the other heavy cruiser, but it is what it is. Can I get the 4 inches on you? No, I cannot. So you're getting the 3 inchers also for your secondaries. And goes pump a bunch of 2 inchers onto you also. Casemates, I can get you up to 4 inch. Torpedoes. All right. Still below 7,000 tons. That's excellent. Let's get all the goodies in there now. You don't need barbette 2. We're going to go barbette 1 on you. XHE. Cap and capped. Else like gun cotton. Turrets. Reload. 16-inch torpedoes. And you'll be getting a stereoscopic also. Oh, we still got plenty of weight to play with. I am happy to see that. Let's get this main belt up to at least 5. Superstructure to at least 1. Inner deck up to 1. Got 0.1. I got to increase something. Main deck. Let's get you up to 3. I'm going to get this up to 1. Yes. Get this aft belt up to 1. Aft deck. Try and get that 4 weight down just a bit. All right, that's better. And a little bit more on the main deck. We're not going to get much on her. There we go, 3.3. And I can reduce to 8. I could definitely reduce to 8 inchers. Did not mean to do that. Why are you not giving me... There we go. Oh, I could take your armor all the way down. To 4 inches, honestly. That's probably too little. No, let's go to 5. She's going to be taking fire from heavier ships. There we go. That got us some weight savings right there. Get that main deck up a little bit more. 3.7 inches. Okay. 3% half weight offset, not bad. Pitch and roll. Almost under control. Almost there. Probably reduce the funnel size. We're at 300% engine efficiency, but I kind of like that. That means she's got some get up and go if I need her to punch it. 11,500 kilometer range on her. And I think Mecklenburg's a good name for the class. No one submitted a name for heavy cruiser class, so I think that's what she will be called. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. Not happy with the main guns once again, but I'm happy enough. All right, we're now looking at the Berlin Bashers. And this is definitely a ship that needs a bit of work. And I actually did build an additional 20 of these to seat around the world at my ports. Not much weight savings off the bat. 4-inch guns are now Mark IIs, or 2 inches are now Mark IIs. All right. Didn't really get much weight savings out of her. Engine efficiency is still horrible, but that's about to change. They have 190% engine efficiency now. At least we don't have to change any of her guns. Harvey armor. Go. And you're going to stick with a coincidence rangefinder since you're not long range. And we're going to give her mines now, because I have a lot of these out guarding ports. So having mine layers on it now is a good idea. All right, let's get this inner deck built up. And that put us overweight. Weren't able to do much to her. She basically just upgraded the guns and upgraded the engines. But that's really all we needed for this ship. So let's move on to designing a new one. All right, we now get to design ourselves a new light cruiser. We're going to be sticking with the light cruiser 2 hull. I'll go to light cruiser 1. Nope. Because we're still only allowed to build up to 4,500 tons. We have not unlocked a better hull yet. Or better weight for the light cruisers. So I'm going to give her the same speed of 20 knots. Spacious quarters. So basically all she's going to be doing is getting some better towers. Hopefully help the fleet spot just that much better. And funnel for 4. Let's give her 2 of these. Very quickly running up the weight on this ship. Now, can I get a 5-inch forward and 5-inch aft? No, I cannot. I wanted her to have 5 inchers fore and aft, but essentially this is just going to be the same ship design. That 4 is not going to sit there, okay. There we go. Let's play around with that a little bit. Do that up here. It'll give me a forward arc. Alright, the 4-incher there, but she's got plenty of guns. Limited on the center 4 inches, but I just need them to fire 4 and aft. That's no big deal. Put some 2 inchers on there. Not in that location, okay. Casemates, so give her 3 inchers. Get some 2 inchers up on the towers. No, I cannot. This really sucks that I cannot get a heavier hull out of her. Here's the beam. Let's bring that back down to 0. Yes, I know they have poor sector of fire, but that's fine. Harvey armor. Coincidence rangefinder. And we don't need mines on you. You're not a port guard, so that'll save us some weight right there. All right, main belt. Let's get you up to 3 inches on the main. Main deck can get you 3 inches also. That puts us over weight. Back down to 2. All right, pitch and rolls at 2541. Need to get some inner deck armor here. These things take some heavy crew losses. Yeah, let's take you down to an inch. Those casemates. Not much weight saving there. Get a little more on the main deck now. And that's it. And I don't like the name Arcona for these. I'm going to call these... I didn't really put much thought into the ship names because I thought we were going to be at war before the refits. I guess Arcona class is fine unless somebody submits a name. Oh, as a reminder, anybody, as long as you're a channel subscriber and you like light cruiser named, just submit it in the comments below, and I'll happily change the name of one of the light cruisers to that ship name. If you're a channel member, I allow you to name heavy cruisers, and yeah, up to the heavy cruisers, I'll let you name. So just keep that in mind. If you want to have something to name, just drop in the comments below. I'm going to build 3 of these for the new fleet. All right, it's now November of 1901, and we finally have our war with the Soviet Union. It took me longer to get them to go to war with us than I initially thought it would. I was hoping to kick the war off as soon as my refits were finished, but yeah, it is what it is. We just had to wait a little longer, which means a little longer on the U.S. But it is time for the fight. All right, so they already lost control of Latvia. That's now its own country now. So I do have all my invasion fleets just kind of sitting around. So I think first off, start with Estonia. I may have to move additional ships into the region, but they're all right here. All my invasion fleets are sitting right here in the Baltic, with my main fleet sitting up over Murmansk to do some port striking up there. And the Soviets, the Tsar is now out of power. It's now the Soviet Union. They do have 128 active ships. Just a matter of where are they. They're kind of spread all over the world. So we'll probably have some fights with our port defenders out here in the Med, and possibly out in the Pacific also. Too bad I don't have enough tonnage out this way to make landings out here, because I would like to take Sakhalin Island in its entirety. That becomes a very rich province later on, but maybe we can grab it during the peace deal. But it's time to knock the Soviets down a little bit, since they took some very, very expensive provinces away from Austria. And so I'll come back in if we got any fights happening. All right, one of my invasion fleets is port striking, and it looks like the one of the main Soviet fleets is actually in the port. We also have 2 meeting engagements coming up down where the naval invasion is. So they're heavy cruisers, light cruisers, I'm not too worried about, but these battleships could be a little bit of an issue. They're a few thousand tons heavier than us, and they're rocking a pair of dual 10-inch guns, 4 single 6-inch guns, and 14 4-inch guns, and 4 single 3-inch guns. So it might be an issue, that might not be. Hopefully our upgrades are good enough to knock them out pretty quickly. What year are these from? It's not giving me a year on them. They're fairly new, though, I think. Fairly new. So it's the Bismarck, Posen, Helgoland, Beowulf, Heimdall, and Palmer. So let's go jump into this one. All right, we did spot each other at about the same time at a range of around 13 kilometers. Battleships will definitely put back up. Same hold design, almost the same hold design. Same design for each of my Spanish ships. do have Russian names, so I'm wondering if they're actually prizes of war. Let's start swinging a bit. They're coming right at us, so I want to try and keep them ranged. They're not firing at us, and I know they have us spotted. This seems to have been an issue with... There we go, now they're firing. I was hoping it wasn't going to be another one of those SEAL Club battles where the fleets don't fire back. Partial pens with armor piercing, so they got some good armor on them. Grenade for 3. These are trained crews. They haven't had this particular fleet's not had as many battles as other fleets have. There's a torpedo boat. Ooh, good hit right there. 1,500 points of damage and flooding. Another one of the torpedo boats. Not particularly worried about this fight anymore. Now they're switching formation on the battleships. Ooh, she is burning. Kind of slicing right through their armor. These things are not heavily armored at all. It's got the 14 inches of armor. And they got less than 5% aim on those 10-inch guns, so they might have scorched my paint a little bit. I mean, if this is the best that the Soviet fleet has to offer, I'm not at all worried about this war now. Start circling around the front of them. Let's get a little circle thing going. Ooh, flash off. Very quick flash off. It's already over. There goes the Apostolov. And stay at range. Keep the torps away from us. Oh, they got very short range torpedoes. We're fine. Unless they want to make a close-in run against my secondaries, they're not going to get closer than that. There goes the Rebel cooking off. Alright, both their battleships are now out of action. I think we should finish this fleet off fairly quickly. Why do I not see fire lines? Ooh. Okay, these heavy cruisers are paper tigers, apparently. I have a feeling the torpedo boats are going to start running soon. Surprised they have not already. She's low on fuel, so we might be able to chase her down if she's not running too far in the opposite direction. If they're one with my torpedoes, it doesn't matter though. Not coming in close enough for me to use them. The Pommern. I'm going to detach you. I'm going to swing back out this way. Go after these heavy cruisers and torpedo boat that's making a run for it. Some structural damage, but not much to us. They're just taking down our armor points. Not very quick. Mostly focused on the Helgoland. No one else seems to have taken a hit yet. Get that torpedo boat. Very good. Done. With the Ghoul. Start swinging towards her. Let's go swinging these boys back around. Actually, Helgoland, we're going to detach you. And you're going to keep after her because she looks like she wants to run. I'll swing back up this way. I'm going to get broadside of these heavies. You guys running at 16.5 knots. Could possibly catch them. There goes that light. Alright. Go land, get back in line. Guys, to flank. Just 15 knots. We just gotta get close enough to spot them again once the smoke clears out. You're not letting anything get away from this fight. Neptune. Everest's next. Baying shouldn't last too long. Don't know if we're going to catch these lights now. We're going to make an attempt. Once the smoke clears, we should have to decide. There we go, got them sighted. We're heading right at them. Now getting away, Bayan. Catch up to her. Secondaries to bear. Or drop one of those light cruisers. to make a torque run. Yes, you are. Put her down before she launches. Shove it forward. Is that forward two or aft two? Oh, there she goes. Doesn't matter. She didn't launch. And they already smoked up again, but this one is down. And it looks like some of their torpedo boats have run from the fight, and I'm not going to bother trying to chase those down. Alright. We came through fairly well unscathed. Some scorch damage on my paint. Little damage on the Helgoland, but not a lot. Very superficial. Lost 122 crewmen. They lost 5,709 and 24 of the ships that were in the fight. And 55,601 victory points to their 62. Taking down the battleships Devon Apostolov and the Rebel, heavy cruisers Neptune, Darius, Bayan, Yana Katrina, Oliphant, Zia, and the Archangel Raphael, 9 light cruisers, Admiral Istomin, Rus, Captain Sakin, Ural, Kirch, Kegel, Lieutenant Dadimov, Admiral Spiridov, and the Zinchung, and 6 of their 7 torpedo boats. Just one of them managed to slip away. It's a good first battle. Alright, we do have a meeting engagement down in our invasion area. And 4 of the battleships came out to fight on this one, supported by 5 heavy cruisers and 4 or 5 light cruisers and a number of torpedo boats. Not as big as the fleet we just fought. And it's 2 new battleships and 2 of older battleships. Are they older? 14,002. Yeah, these are older. They are rocking 11.2-inch guns, but they're probably going to be as effective as the last crew that we fought. Most of their crews are green, it looks like. Yeah, all of our crews are either trained or seasoned in this fleet. So we're going up against them with the battleship Hessen, Deutschland, Imperial Ambitions, Hagen, Kaiser Wilhelm the Gross, and the Kaiser Wilhelm II. Let's jump into this. Alright, we have engaged the Russian fleet at a range of around 8.5 kilometers, as we do have foggy weather conditions here. We're not going to be firing as well as the last fight, but can't do anything about that. This speed now 13 knots, thank you. I'm hoping none of their torpedo boats get away this time, but there's no guarantee of that. Looking at it. Identified 637. This looks like the same one we just fought. Looks like the pair of dual 10-inchers, not the 12-inchers. Sighted now. We have her identified. That's the Petra Pavlos, 10-inch guns. Okay, this is the 12-incher. Same hull, just a little bit smaller tonnage-wise, but bigger gun. Is going to be a little close to us. Bad angle on these battleships for the rest of my line, but I do need these forwards taken on these light cruisers. That is fine. Rose, put everything onto her. That is a coastal defense boat. All right. So good. Now we got one dropped. It should start dropping like flies pretty soon. Nobody aimed at that like cruiser. Village Hessen. Put everything onto the Kavkaz. The Petropavlovsk is still afloat. Honestly, she's been taking a pounding. The Wilhelm, put your secondaries onto the Baltic, please. Got 1.2 kilometer on their torpedoes. A little shorter range than us, but they can launch better than we can. So we've got to take them down. Someone please, it's coming right up on you. I'm not gonna sink. Actually, start firing at Diana. I might get a crossfire on her. Lost, that's good. Actually, switch over to where you were, please. Deutschland and Kaiser Wilhelm, you guys are good. Your mains, or please, people are fire focused in one area. Yana. We actually got a torp out. Looks like might be a strike. It actually blew, but that should finish off the Galta. Before she goes down before she launches. Guys are everything on the Donskoi. There's the Aurora. Torpedo boat. She's in torpedo range now. I'm going to put her down before she launches. Maybe we could stay ahead of her fire arc. Nope, she's done. Swinging back this way, please. Not put down the Petropavlovsk, really. He's almost dead. Not quite there yet. Southeast is finished. One battleship now. It's the older one, but still a battleship. They have not tried to disengage yet. They just may not realize they can't get away. That's a heavy. That's one of their older heavy cruisers. Okay. Goes a Petropavlovsk finally. Goes Europa. Got 4 ships left. 5 ships. That's the... Not sure which one's going next. I would have called the heavy cruiser because the battleship's taking the damage. There goes the surging. Goodbye. Imagine how much faster this battle would have gone if we'd actually had the upgraded 6-inchers, because those things have done a lot of damage this battle. Oh, the Vladimir surrendered. Battleship, very good. Alright, we lost 93 crewmen. They lost 5,861 in all 19 ships they sent into the fight. That gave us another 64,041 victory points. We're already over 100,000 victory points. Got 75 out of that. Took down the battleships. Viator Sergei. Altus, Petropovla, Savatoy, Alexander, Minin. Savanya Zavida, Europa, Vladimir Monomak. I probably just butchered the hell out of that. Pamya Zova. 5 light cruisers and 5 torpedo boats. Not a bad grab. Alright, we got ourselves a port strike here, or clash of fleets, my bad. And it's the, once again, it's the Hessen, the Deutschland, the Imperial Ambitions, Hagen, Kaiser Wilhelm the Gross, and Kaiser Wilhelm II, going up against another smaller battleship fleet. But this one's got a 21,000-ton monster in it, but she's got the same, basically the same armament as us. She's got 2 9-inch guns. She's got 18 single 7-inch guns, 2 single 7.5s, 14. She's actually pretty well gunned up. Actually, she's got a lot of guns, especially 7-inchers, but I don't think they're going to make much of a difference. They do have a trained crew. Another battleship of the Rebel class, which we fought before, 10-inch guns with a green crew. 1 heavy cruiser, 3 light cruisers, 9 torpedo boats. This fight shouldn't take too long. Alright, we spotted 1 battleship at a range of around, I think it was 12 or 13 kilometers. And they don't see us yet, huh? Is that a protected battleship or protected? That's got to be a protected battleship with that many ace beats on it. That's got to be the 21,000-ton. Our speed down. All of our ships are now regular cruiser or veteran crews, so they're just going to be laying out the damage, even with these older ships. Have her identified. She's that 21,000-ton battleship. Not really holding much in the way of armor. 1.5-inch main belt. That's a lot of casements. Doesn't have very good aim. We're already... Mains are at 30, almost 40%. Our secondaries are not very high either, like theirs, but... They will get better. There we go, some good hits there. They're actually hitting us, but this has a trained crew. It doesn't have a green crew like the rest of the ships we have fought. Torpedo boat, very good. We need the damage, but we do have her flooding. Either switch over to Kutuzov. Point hit there, nice. I don't want too many of these torpedo boats running away, but I think 1 or 2 might just get away. Wilhelm is taking some flood damage here. I'm going to detach her because she's just going. We're not moving very fast anyway, but I think it's just safer to detach her from the line. torpedo boat. Very good. Missions. Okay, there goes Khrushchev. It's fine. Keep coming in closer. Just make it easier to hit you. Points of damage with the main gun, really. Mission, switch over to the Almaz. Torpedo boat, very good. Bushland, focus on that torpedo boat. She's coming a little too close for us. There she goes, finally. The Almaz should be going next. You're just sailing into where I can just... Yeah, look at that, baby. Send all these commies into the drink. Here she goes. Wow, she went down fast. Oh, extensive fire. She's burning all over the place. Wasn't paying attention to that. Let's turn around, finish these last torpedo boats, and now we all shoot rope. Oh, and there's a heavy cruiser over here. She's not long for the world. Torpedo boat's going to be the last one down. Say she survives all this fire to get a torpedo off. I'm going to be pretty angry. Alright, we lost 66 crewmen to their 4,500. They lost another 15 ships, giving us an additional 43,025 victory points to their 61. 2 more battleships, a heavy cruiser, 3 lights, and 9 more torpedo boats down into the drink. Alright, we have ourselves another clash of fleets here. With the Braunschweig, Gneisenau, Asia, Frederick the Gross, Bayer, and Kaiser Friedrich going against 3 heavy cruisers and 4 torpedo boats. So this fight shouldn't take very long at all. I think most of these troops should be trained regular. Figured some of these ships have fought before. I figured they'd at least have one veteran or seasoned crew in there, but let's go jump into it. Alright, we finally spotted the heavy cruisers at a range. Show me it. Yeah, we spotted them at about 6 kilometers, possibly 7. Here's a while to spot them. Top of each other. My mains are getting their aim very quickly. Listen now, focus on that torpedo boat, please. One torpedo boat. It's already cooking off. Goodbye to her. Boat. I mean, this is good. This is allowing us to drag down her logistics. There were some smaller fights I didn't show. Most goes to like my 4 to 6 battleships against 1 or 2 ships, so I wasn't showing them. It's taking us a while to get their logistics knocked down. The Soviets start with 100% logistics like we did. It's kind of showing in the land battles. Now we're starting to drag their logistics down, so that should help us in our land battles a little bit more. These heavy cruisers don't last long once we have them ranged in. It needs to now focus on that torpedo boat fully. All of your guns should be on this torpedo boat. Why are you firing back this way? And there we go, she went down. These guys off. Go Rod's just taking a beating. They're of course her to surrender. There she goes with a surrender. All right. Another 3 heavy cruisers having Gorod, Gleb, and Isaac Victoria, and 4 torpedo boats. Gives us now 9,834 victory points to their 11. Really starting to take a bite out of their available crew, I do. Alright, we do have ourselves a coastal raid here, where the heavy cruiser Mecklenburg and the light cruiser Condor have found a convoy of 6 transport ships escorted by the heavy cruiser Svatoy Izaki and light cruisers Vitiaz and Novik. And these light cruisers are a little more heavily armed than mine, as they do have 5.2-inch guns on them. And their heavy cruisers about equal armament, it looks like. You got 2 single 8s, 12 single 4s, and 8 single 3s. It has 2 single 8.2s, 1 dual 8.1, 2 dual 6.1s, 4 single. Pretty heavily armed ship. 14 single 3.5. She's actually more heavily armed than that's what. Alexander Nevsky class. Is this the same class we've been fighting? I don't know. We'll take a look. We did start out in sight range of some of their transports. So now they got them light cruisers are smoking up. Like we have Mecklenburg has fought before. I did not show her fight. So she does have a regular crew now. And Condor still has a trained crew. Okay, we got him right towards the center of the convoy. Who's that? Transport. Yep, that's the same heavy cruiser class we have been fighting. It's not something I'm worried about at all. Got our speed down to 16, get some better shots in. And their transports are not armed at all yet, so that's a good thing. Otherwise, we'd be a little too close for comfort. But sometimes these transports have better firing capabilities than regular warships. These two lights going to swing back and help, or are they going to run from the fight? I would like to take them down to reduce the logistics of the Russian army a little more. He is firing at my light cruiser, so let's smoke her up. Down that heavy cruiser before it does some damage that I don't want to take. These transports, they just suck up damage like destroyers. Yep, there goes their crew. Ooh, good hit from the heavy cruiser there. Veto out. Doesn't have any. She does. And it looks like our torque blew as soon as it hit the water. It's actually doing some damage to us. There goes our engine. Bow torpedo. Still got one loaded in. We're in range of it. We didn't fire her starboard. I wonder if her bow is going to fire. Looks like their light cruiser escort just ran away from the fight completely. let's finish off this transport. Let's see if that's all of them. It might be. It's all of them, so... They're like, yeah, we're already at times 10. They're like cruisers made a run for it and did not come back to support, so I'm not even going to try and hunt them. Alright, we lost 52 crewmen, he lost 707. We lost another 1 heavy cruiser and 6 transports, 2 CLs getting away. Give us another 4,956 victory points. Alright, we do have a task force strike here on a port. So, a little update here. We have taken Estonia. We've taken North and South Finland. We have now started 2 more naval invasions. But we got the task force, the Hammer and Hanoverians, with the Rhineland Neuschwab and Berlin Bashers, Berlin, and Gazelle. Going up against 5 heavy cruisers, 2 lights, and a number of torpedo boats. Once again, this is something we desperately need, is we got to sink these heavy cruisers and light cruisers and pull down the Russian logistics. They're down to 83%. But it's still not low enough. They are winning a land battle against us in Prussia, so we'll probably have to retake that at some point. But unless we really rip down their logistics and halt this invasion, this should help us in that. So let's go jump in here. There we have spotted the enemy fleet. It's still these older heavy cruiser designs. There's a light cruiser that was in front of me we didn't see. Nope, heavy cruiser. How can we see this one but not this one? That doesn't make sense. Alright. Let's start angling away from that just a little bit. Need to bring you down to 13 knots for full speed on the Hammer. Yep. I do have my fleet set up in my normal formation. Battleship, light cruiser, light, heavy, and light. We still don't have destroyers yet. We'll get them in the next in the 1905 refit, as we've unlocked 2 destroyer hulls now, so we'll be able to start producing them. Good hit right there on that cruiser. Get her to start flooding very good. That torpedo boat's not long for the world. That torpedo boat? Yeah. They want to close the distance on us, but not quite. Another good hit right there on the Boris. Ooh, that was from the new Schwaben, I think. Torpedo boat. They'll start dropping the cruisers and reduce their weight of fire just a little bit. That should be the kill shot on the Boris. No engines. And flooding. Torpedo boat just lost her ammunition. It's heading to the bottom. I love it when we sink ships before we even have them identified. There goes the Boris, finally. Somebody focus on the Draken. Zealots, put all your mains on the Draken, please. Stop switching targets. I'm telling you to fire at the Draken. You fire at the Draken. On ground, boy. Yeah, torpedo hit boat was a dud. She has torpedoes also. Great. Here it comes. Slow down enough. We'll stop. They were going slow enough where I was able to stop before it got to us. And now it shows you have enough crew to man those torpedo tubes. Beautiful. There she goes, flashing off. Focus on the corner lob. Police shit will be going down soon. Corner lob's turning away. Focus on the Archangel Michael. She's flashing off now. That was quick. Gonna keep popping. There we go. She's finished. As fires are spreading throughout her deck, she's gonna keep popping off, hopefully. Another one. She is done. He's continuing to cook. You guys should be running at this point. I think they'll have engine damage or flooding. Ooh. Torpedo out, but that's a wasted shot. So they're going down. Sixer fire. We're taking that much damage on the sixes? No. Doesn't look like they've been touched. There she goes, just a heavy cruiser Africa now. Lieutenant, almost there. Goodbye, Africa. I guess some of the heaviest damage that actually put out against me. Alright, we lost 77 men. They lost 1,936 in all 13 ships they sent into the fight. Giving us an additional 19,809 victory points at 36. Down to 5 heavy cruisers, 2 lights, and 6 torpedo boats. Alright, our allies in the Korean Empire have decided to come to our aid and encountered a heavy cruiser supported by 4 light cruisers in the Sea of Japan. So, Koreans have sent us the Atlantis and the Princess Wilhelm, and the light cruiser Stettin and Bremen, and our light cruiser Elbing out of Sinzhou is supporting them. Let's see how this little fleet here does. We have spotted the enemy fleet at a range of around 7 kilometers. Don't see them. This light's not in range yet either. So these ships are not upgraded except for my light cruiser, the Elbing. What's the Elbing mine got? Oh. A little bit of a misclick there. Should not be long for this world. It's still not upgraded their heavy cruisers. Their technology's really lacking. Kind of like my Spanish campaign. Too close with their torpedoes. It's there. This is taking on water quickly. She has not had the flooding upgrade. Nakamov is taking a beating. There she goes, finally. Okay, I think it's time to break the Atlantis off. I don't want to lose any of my allies' ships. Lazarev. Tier. Now it's just down to Guydemeyer. Should have run when you had the chance. There she goes. Not too bad. Another 5 ships sent to the bottom. We lost 1 man. They lost, even with all the damage the Atlantis took, we've only lost a 1 man. They lost 1,579. There's another 10,715 victory instead of 15. Right, it is now November 1903, and we have a peace treaty signed with the Soviet Union. Actually, this war in this episode is actually gone a little longer than I initially expected it to. So, yeah, we've actually done a massive blow to the Soviet Union. So I am happy with this. All right, what do we want to take from them? It's not much here. Definitely North Sakhalin and South Sakhalin. And I'm not going to touch any of the stands. We don't want anything to do with that. We want North and South Sakhalin. And I'm not going to bother taking any of their ships from them because I'm just going to end up selling them off. We got North and South Sakhalin. Nice. Another $932 million. Beautiful. All right, now. So see, I do have ships moving out from the Pacific back into the region. So during the war, I didn't show it. The Russians did capture Prussia. I was going to call for peace, but I held off because they were going to take Prussia the same turn the peace deal was going to take place. So I let them take it, and then I just retook it and called for the peace treaty. As you can see, we've done a lot of damage to them. Taking northern Finland, southern Finland, Estonia, Lithuania, and central Russia. So we were running land invasions into eastern Poland and Belarus, though we were just kind of bashing our heads against the walls. We were never able to really get the Soviet logistics below 70%. So it was pretty bloody battles. And I wanted to end that. Now we have North and South Sakhalin, which is a very powerful location to hold because these ports are fairly well sized, and this island becomes later on in the campaign becomes a wealthy province. So I'm going to have to build 2 more light cruisers to go sit up here at these ports. We are growing ourselves nicely. So we're going to move all my ships back into port, get my battleships reset, repositioned, and we're going to be coming up on a war with the U.S. next. And it looks like there's 2 places for us to grow. Panama is going to be our initial target. Then we'll probably take Northern Colombia right after that because they're right next door to each other. And jump onto Honduras also. I'm doubtful I'll be making any landings on mainland U.S. I'm doubtful. The logistics at 100%. They only got 76 ships. But logistics also has to do with how much land you have and how many ships you have to cover. So they got enough ships for the amount of territory they do control. We're still 100% even after taking North and South Sakhalin. And I'm going to be adding some light cruisers to that fleet anyway out that way. I don't think there's too many ports. I got a lot of ports without light cruisers in them, but for the most part, almost all of my ports are covered. There's just a few out here that don't show up on the build map because they're just tiny ports and I can't build ships at them. Like this light cruiser is like 2,000 tons heavier than the port at Lorengau. Port Moresby should have one. Yep. Yara does not have one, but it's 18,000 ton port, so I should be able to build some light cruisers there to send up to the Sakhalins. Kaviak does not have one, so I need to build 3. Okay. Actually, I should have 4, so I should have one here, but I think I'm going to be using that as a build base. All right, like I said, we're going to end this episode here. So once again, if you're a new viewer, return viewer, you're not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember that bell icon so the next video comes out. Follow along the series and enjoying it. Don't forget to drop an AP shell into that like button, HE shell into that comment section. And I will see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.